Hello YouTube, this is Harvey from WhoKnowsGaming and welcome back to another episode of Explain That Game, the series that showcases a game and most of its features to help you decide if it's worth your time and money. Today I've got quite a good one for you. I'm actually really excited about it. I've been meaning to do it for a long time. It's a game that I've got really quite into. It's quite a compelling game. Anyway, the game in question is Shootmania, and this is the beta, and the game's by a company called Nado, I think it is. They're a French company. Please don't kill me for pronouncing that wrong. They are the people that are also responsible for Trackmania, and they're also working on Questmania. Really uninventive titles for their games, but by all accounts they are good games, which is the only important thing really. It's 20% off before release, and by now will grant you beta access. So obviously with that said, everything that you see is subject to change, so don't slate on it too hard. It'll currently set you back £12.79, that's with 20% off. I think full price is £15.99, which is actually a really good price for what you get. And that's from the official website, which I'll list in the description. As for story, it's not relevant. There might be one, but it's a multiplayer FPS. I mean, what story do you really need? Just shoot the other guy in the face. Now the gameplay, this is the interesting bit. It's a fast-paced FPS, but it allows the community to make their own maps and game modes. So think things like Counter-Strike, that sort of thing. There's always something different to do, and especially post-release, I would have thought there'll be a lot of different game modes. Like I've played a few really good unofficial ones, such as Speedball, which is where you have to basically pass the ball by shooting your teammates, but while you have the ball you can't kill the enemy. Really interesting ideas that are coming out. The only problem I can see with it so far is the fact that you can't actually add your own assets, but they are adding more building blocks, as it were, quite regularly. And yeah, it is a fast-paced FPS. I don't want people thinking things like Quake, because while it's similar in some respects, it plays very unique in a very unique manner. It's like they've distilled FPS down to its core and built it back up, and it is designed as an e-sport primarily. That doesn't mean that you can't play it casually. I mean, there's plenty of game modes that lend themselves to just dip in, dip out, and it's a very accessible game. So for an example of this is a location-based weapon system. There's only 3 weapons available in the game, which sounds pretty bad, but that does mean that it's balanced. And the main weapon is a rocket launcher, and there's also a railgun and a weapon called the Nucleus. And now to actually use these weapons you have to be standing in certain spots on the map, which is quite clever because it means that a weapon can never truly be overpowered, because you have to have control of a certain area to use it. So balance comes more down to map design rather than the actual weapon power. Right, that's most of the boring stuff out the way. There will be a link in the description if you want to skip all the boring stuff as usual, so please use that. And we'll go on to the options here. There are more options outside of the game. I've got everything on high for the moment except for Bloom. Normally I'd play with everything on minimum just to reduce distractions, but I thought I'd give you a bit of eye candy for the purposes of the video. So let's go to the advanced. This is pretty much... Oh, I haven't got anti-aliasing on. I'll just leave it off. I don't want to ruin anything. Let's go to advanced. So it's all the sort of stuff you'd expect. Outside this, there is a lot more options, like in an external launcher, as it were. Now, okay, here, this is what Shootmania is contained within. It's something called Mania Planet, and this is like their kind of social overlay, as it were. It lets you change a few things like sound. You can get messages. It's quite a good system. Think similar to Steam, but you've got more news and stuff here. Right, now this is where things get a little bit odd. Here's the main game, Shootmania, and this will have most of your game modes and custom game modes included. But then the custom game, no, not the custom game modes, the competitive game modes will be here separately. So you've got Joust, Heroes, and Elite. Elite is by far the most played of the competitive modes, and I haven't got any footage of that, but if you just do a quick search there'll be loads of it. I have footage of just a normal sort of free-for-all and a Joust match for you. Now this does mean two things. Less people play these modes, but it's less of the kind of just random pubbies on there. You'll kind of see the same people a lot, and usually the skill level is pretty high in these. So it makes for quite a nice match. But for now, we'll just go into the main game. This does freeze a little sometimes, and I'm pretty sure Fraps doesn't help. So, okay, here you can see if we go into multiplayer, we can see our rankings. Just let it scroll around. I wonder how many people are actually playing this at the moment. 48th in the United Kingdom. Each of the different competitive modes has their own ladder as well. So I'm ranked 2,000 something in the world. That's not bad. You can favourite servers. You can create your own servers. And if you just go to all, here's the server browser. You can see how many people are in each server. Red means it's full, I believe. If you click, it'll show you who's actually in the match and your ping. My one big criticism here is that I wish you could see the ping before clicking on the server. I think that would make life a lot easier. And it seems to show you ping as being higher than what it actually will be in-game. If we go back here, you've got your profile where you can change your name, the looks of it. That's just different colour settings and stuff. Your avatar, your horn, that's just like a taunt effectively. Here's quite a cool feature. Save automatically or replays. That means that you're never going to miss anything cool that you do in game, because the game's got a really in-depth replay editor. Speaking of, let's go to the editors so I can show you the movement. This is just a simple map that I built earlier just to show off a few bits of the game. So it's not meant to be pretty by any means, but let's just give it a go. Loading times not too bad, but this is an editor and I've got Fraps running, so here we are. As you can see, it's just really simple. We've got your 2 spawn points there, got a tunnel underneath there, a rail which helps you run, a railgun platform, and a few jumps just to demonstrate the movement mechanics. It did crash for me here earlier, so same may happen again, but I hope not. So right, we're spawned in. Now you move different. First thing to note is you move different speeds on different surfaces. Grass being the slowest. I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this. Your jump and sprint are bound to the same keys. So if I jump and then hold the jump button again, I'll kind of glide into a run as long as I hold it down. That uses my energy bar that you can see on the bottom right that's recharging now. Now, pressing the jump button in different scenarios will do different things. It depends where you're standing. For example, if I'm standing on this top surface here, I'll move faster, and holding right click will make me sprint as opposed to jumping. So this is just a plain sprint platform, which means knowledge of your surroundings can actually give you quite a big advantage, because you can just move across then suddenly start sprinting. It throws people's aim off. But say if I was to stand on a rail platform, this is the default weapon by the way, normally you wouldn't be able to fire this fast at all in normal game. Your energy recharge is a lot slower. But say if we were to stand on this rail platform here, you can see that my weapon has now changed to a one-shot kill railgun. But now I can't jump, so I can't get back. Instead, right-clicking gives me like a zoom mode, which is quite important. And the last weapon which I need to show you is the nucleus, which you get in tunnels, which it explodes if enemies go near to it, and it'll linger on surfaces for a while. And you only get 2 shots with that before you have to wait for your energy recharge. And like I said, your ammo does recharge a lot slower in the main game. So for the actual movement, it does feel it feels fluid, but it's quite clunky when you first try and use it. And now the height that you start to glide from actually affects your speed. So I'll show that. I can just jump straight across there normally. If I give a little run into it, we'll jump further. But I'm still not going to be able to jump to this far platform over here. Not nearly. So if we just go back here to a jump pad that I've situated, you'll be able to see that by gliding when I've got a lot more downwards momentum, I'll actually be able to jump a lot further. If I pull it off right, that is. There we are. So, like I said, knowledge of your surroundings and all that kind of stuff, really important. But that's enough of the editor and just movement in general. Let's go to a couple of replays that I've got saved of actual matches, and I'll commentate on a few things there and perhaps give a few tips. Not that I'm particularly qualified. So return to the editor. Yes. Let's go back. And edit a replay. I've got 2 prepared here. Let's watch Melee. Now this is just your standard free-for-all, and on the map that I've got footage of, there's no rail platforms or anything. I often think that the rail platforms ruin Melee games because it just becomes a massive clusterfuck around the rail. So if we just go to view, we'll see a match that I played earlier, and we're going to be watching in third person because it's kind of easier to see what's happening. Ooh, my voice cracked a little there. The only unfortunate thing about this is that we're not going to be able to see clearly when I get a hit, but you should be able to see. Usually when you get a hit in game, you get a big +1 appear in the middle of the screen. It's really obvious. Same goes for when you get hit. So this is just standard free-for-all with rocket launchers. Rocket launchers in this game don't have splash damage, which means that jumping is usually a death sentence, as you saw for that person there, because you just can't change direction fast enough. So you're going to be wanting to avoid jumping as much as possible. This map is quite small and it takes me a while to get into the gameplay, but towards the end I go on a nice little spree, which is enjoyable to watch. This mode, not competitive at all. It's just your standard clusterfuck mode. There's no other way to put it. It's just a bit of fun. And this is sort of appealing to your more casual market of the game. Ooh, oh, that was horrible shooting. I can't believe I actually did that. But yeah, this is appealing to your more casual market. Even if you were really skillful, with so many people in such a small map, there's nothing you can do. Like, I've seen maps with 80 people in before. It's a testament to the game that it does allow you to do that, though. Ooh, ooh, and you see I jumped there. Massive mistake, just can't change direction fast enough. And you'll probably see me dying a fair few times for a while. You see there, I jumped into that sprint just to get back into the action a little faster, because it doesn't count deaths against you. Also, you get a point for every time you hit someone. So I should mention, you have 2 points of armour before you die in this particular mode. And you'll get 1 point which counts towards your winning score every time you hit someone, not every time you get a kill. So that's basically your sort of assist system, but I personally think it works better. And that was a bit of a dick move of me there. That guy was obviously AFK and I killed him. Ooh, and that guy got turned on. Look, I would like to show this in first person, but unfortunately I don't know if there's a way to add it with the crosshairs in, because the replay editor is quite complex. It's a little bit beyond me, if I'm honest. Ooh. I don't think I'm actually hitting anybody here. Ooh, got that guy though. After this, I'll be showing you some Joust gameplay. And Joust is my favourite mode by far, because it's always just one-on-one, you and the enemy. If something goes wrong, it's all your fault. There's no denying it. Ooh, and I'm about to die, I think, here. Yeah. I think the reason that people tend to jump a lot is because it's kind of a learned behaviour left over from Quake because of splash damage on rocket launchers, whereas the rocket launcher in Shootmania is still a precision weapon. You have to hit them directly. It's not like you can just kind of spray near them. Now, I tend not to try and fight. I tend to try not to fight on grass because it throws my pace off. What the rocket launcher does do, if it lands near you, is it will propel you. There's almost like a splash radius that will push you away from where it landed. So often if an enemy hits near you, it's good to just kind of ride the momentum of it to get out of the action faster. Oh, I've got quite a dry throat. But I really do genuinely recommend everyone get this game. It's so fun to play. I think we'll be getting to my little beast mode moment soon. Oh, I think we're actually in it. Yeah, it's about to end. And that's just a kind of standard melee match there. And now here's the Joust. It's not a particularly amazing Joust game, but it does show it quite well. It's the map particularly that's not very good, and I make a lot of stupid mistakes in it. That's fine. Now the idea of Joust is it's one-on-one. You both start with no ammo, and you have to touch a flag to get your ammo. Now the interesting thing about this is you'll get a full energy bar for each weapon, so that's 5 shots with the rocket launcher, 2 shots with the nucleus, and 1 shot with the railgun. But then, if to actually reload, you have to touch another flag like I did then. That was me reloading. Unfortunately, there's no feedback on screen to show that. Ooh, how am I doing? And it's called Joust because you end up with this kind of mechanic where you're running past each other, because one person will go one side to reload, you'll go the other, then you'll run past. In this map, there's 4 flags, but the ones opposite across the map are linked, so if that makes any sense. After reloading one, you can't reload at the one diagonal to it. You have to go to the one just straight opposite. It'd make more sense if you played it. I know it's a terrible thing for me to say. But yeah, to me this is the most fun that I have in this by far. And I jumped, that's the big mistake I made there. And this guy jumps quite a lot. I think it's actually the only reason that I beat him. Ooh, how am I doing? Also, the interesting thing about the score is that it's the first person to 7 points with a 2-point lead. So, for example, if I've hit him 6 times and he's hit me 7... Oh, let me think about this. Yeah, if he's hit me 6 times and if he's hit me 7 times and I've hit him 6, if he hits me 1 more time, then he'll win. But if I hit him, then we'll be back on even. He'll need to hit me another 2 times for him to win. It's like the kind of the point system in tennis. It's exactly the same. It's to prevent someone basically getting a lucky win. And that was just a standard Joust match. In Joust, normally it's first person to get 3 wins wins the overall match. Now I haven't shown you the main competitive mode, Elite, but there's loads of footage of that. Total Biscuit has done a he shoutcasted a tournament for it, so like I said, there's absolutely loads of footage of that mode. But I hope this has been a good look at the game, and not too boring just watching my gameplay there. This has been Harvey from WhoKnowsGaming. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like and or subscribe. If you didn't, then don't. Goodbye.